victory. I just got another victory. Opposition said they sick of me. We turn their future to history. They try to hit me, they missing me. Ooh, they in the way. They getting stepped on back in the day. We who they slept on. You see my place. It's never.
What's going on, Knicks Nation? What's going on, my SB community? And welcome back to Sheer Brilliance Knicks. Let's go. The New York Knicks have a game tonight. The New York Knicks will take on the Indiana Pacers in the Mecca tonight at Madison Square Garden. And there's a lot to talk about. So I'm sure I'm going to have much more to say tomorrow after the game. Okay? Because hopefully we're going to be celebrating the victory and I could talk my talk on Knicks Daily edition. All right? If you're new to my channel, first and foremost, I want to welcome you. I want to welcome you to some of the best content for Knicks on YouTube. Okay? If you are returning to the channel, my SB community, welcome back. You know I appreciate you. All right? And obviously, you can't have those people who rock with you, those people who celebrate you, those people who help support you to get to where you're going. If you don't have the opposite side, if you don't have the haters. So if you're a hater, I see you. I see you in the comment section, commenting, sectioning. And guess what? You rock it with the best, baby. So welcome to my channel as well. Do me a favor. Don't leave without liking and subscribing, running up the thumbs up. All right. Friend or foe, we want the smoke. And the smoke is exactly what we're bringing today, courtesy of our New York Knicks and several other people. All right. I need you to excuse my attire today. I just wanted to hop on here straight from doing some work. And they didn't afford me to put my uniform on. Okay. But there's a couple of things I wanted to touch base on. Obviously, we have a big game tonight. Every game at this point is a big game for our New York Knicks, okay? A couple of the games were very winnable the last few games, but I like where we are at this point in the season, okay? We are still incorporating new healthy bodies back into the lineup. So there's going to be a transition period. The best we can hope for is to be able to successfully navigate that period and incorporate these new healthy bodies back into what it is that we've been doing, stringing together some gutsy efforts as we move closer and closer to the All Star break. Okay. But there are a couple of things that I just wanted to point out. All right. A couple of things that really bothered me starting early in the morning. If you follow my channel, you notice that one of the very first things that I did this morning was post the annual NBA midseason media survey. Yes, by now, whether it's through Twitter or through your favorite content creator for the Knicks, by now, you heard about the NBA midseason media survey, okay? And that's where the media completes a survey. So media from all of the NBA markets contribute to answering questions. And some of these questions are: who's the front runner for MVP? Who's the front runner for MIP? Who is the team on the rise? Who has the best young core in the NBA? All right. All of the questions that fans of different fan bases, the jockeying and going through websites to try to see if respect is paid. All right. And the biggest thing that I could feign from what I saw was already what I knew. You got to keep in mind, this is the media. This is the collective media who put forth a vote, completed these surveys, and provided these outcomes. All right. All but two questions, all but two categories. There was no mention of the New York Knicks. No New York Knick. All right. The two categories were, one was probably as close to a nod of I see you as you're going to get. And I believe that was a category related to rebounding. And obviously Mitchell Robinson had an honorable mention type of mention on that one. And another one had, I can't recall the category, but it was almost like like a community award or something, and they mentioned Jalen Brunson. I don't know. I got to go back and see what their category is. I don't want to misrepresent an already flawed survey piece that was put out. All right. But the only thing I could look at and say, and I've quoted this on Twitter. Check me at Twitter at SB Knicks. And I quoted this on my community page on YouTube. Check me at YouTube at SB Knicks. Okay. Only thing I could say is a great quote that our coach always tells the team: the magic is in the work. The magic is in the work. It has to be an us versus the world mentality. We got to put blinders on. Although we want to get recognized, and if y'all don't want me to group you up, I'll say it for myself. I'll speak for myself as a Knicks fan. To be on YouTube right now was a necessity because we had to do something to take back the narrative of our team. We knew there was a bias because they weren't covering our team fairly. We know if we're terrible, but they were going out of their way, not only to point out that we were terrible, to make us a story in jest. And that's just not professional. It went from the major networks down to the beat writers for every team. It became part of just what you did at dinner conversations. You down the Knicks. So we had to cut out the media. We had to cut out the middleman and go directly to the plug. Go directly to the plug. And that's what we did in creating the new media, in which many of us are a part of, and all of you support and help us thrive. But that's what was needed. Now that the team is pulling themselves together, stringing together wins, making great moves that are now starting to show up and pay dividends, all we're asking is, recognize what it is that we're doing. All right. Now, some of you may say, well, that's kind of hypocritical. You already kind of shunned them and was just like, we don't care what y'all think. We create our own media. Right. Right. But the same thing applies to them as well. You want to hold us to that standard, hold them to that standard as well. Stop complaining because we ain't letting you in the doors of Madison Square Garden. And that is the reason why there is no Knick mentioned on these lists. I just want to pull the curtain back so y'all see and y'all know what it is. That's the reason. Because all season, the complaint that the media has had is that they don't have access to the Madison Square Garden team like they used to. The New York Knicks are using their own resources to cover stories, to get big interviews, to ask the tough questions, or the questions they don't think is as tough as they would ask if they were in the room. Because we've limited the access of the major media, who is always there to twist something or set something ablaze, they were just like, we know y'all care about what we say in these major stories. So we're going to eliminate any of the progress that you made. And it's what we're seeing with the All Star voting as well. Okay. Notable omissions of players who have put in work on our team. Tell me a team who has a better younger core than we have, or a young core that has potential like we have. Let them go. Let's run the 5-on-5. Put our young core out there. Put their young core out there. Toe to toe. Any team. For you not to have us on that list, you wildin'. Nah. You wildin'. So that's one. So that damn media, NBA midseason media survey, you cap. You all cap. I apologize for yelling all in the microphone, but this joint got me a little bit heated. I ain't going to lie. I ain't even going to hold you. This joint got me a little bit heated. All right. Second thing, and kind of combing through some of the articles, certain headlines pop up, and I see TJ McConnell and Haliburton, they're doing the sub saucy. They're not overtly talking saucy, but they're doing the sub saucy, And shout out to the Indiana Pacers media team or interview reporters, because they fan in the smoke, they fan in the flames. They were just like, are you looking forward to playing in Madison Square Garden? And Haliburton ain't saying nothing. He was just like, yes. All he said was yes, but the way he said it, all indignant, yes, yes. Well, friend or foe, we want the smoke. We got news for you. We back in Wally Zerbiak. Okay? You'll want to be all-star. Okay? And they probably going to put you there. We ain't taking away from, you a stud. At a point, as a point guard, you put in work, but don't act like this is the old Knicks. I'm going to say that. Don't act like this is the old Knicks, and don't act like this is the old Garden, where we're going to appreciate somebody dropping 60 on us. Bump that. You're going to have to earn it, and you're definitely going to have to hear it when you come into MSG tonight. So don't think you're going to come in here and do like these cats did in the past, bottle flipping on our floor, whatever, and disrespect the Mecca. You ain't coming into the Mecca and disrespecting it. All right? And I got a message to the team. By now, as hooked in on social media, as much social media has been the foundation for some challenges that you've had with the fan base in years past, recent years past, we know you heard that. We know you heard that. McConnell saying, oh, yeah, our All-Star. He said our All-Star. He hasn't even been elected to the All-Star game yet. Yo, they poking and prodding, bruh. So New York Knicks, I hope y'all got Wally back. I'm mad that what Wally had, and he did it classy as well, and he had to, because he was a little bit out of pocket. It hit all our ears like, what? Yo, bro, what happened? All right, we're gonna ride with you, but that was a little bit out of left field. It was a little bit disrespectful. It was a little bit out of nowhere, right? But we rocking with you. Since you said it, it's like your big brother, man. Your big brother be like, yo, what you do? And no matter what it is that you do, your big brother is still going to go with you to address the situation. But we here to help them address the situation, all right? But the way McConnell and Haliburton were talking, it's like they're going to come into MSG to put on a show. Be warned, Knicks. Be warned. It's these moments. We already got the bullseye on our back. Everybody already wants to play big. But now it's a story, because this young guy who hasn't yet made a name for himself on a big stage, there's a narrative, there's a story now. Now everybody wants to see if this man comes in there and drops 35 on us. Drops 35 with 9 assists. And I'll be damned if he hits 35 points and 9 assists, we coming back on here. I'm psychic. Sheer Stradamus shows up again. But New York Knicks, y'all better not let this man come in and show out and use MSG as his stage. If nothing else, you better make sure he tastes the wood. Pause. You make sure that you put him on the floor. You make sure you put that man on the floor before he gets into a rhythm. You make sure you put a body on Mathurin, because Mathurin is going to come and try to hype up Haliburton and take the crowd out of it. And like Magic will say, you better get him back. He does that. You better get him back. So let's be mindful, man, that these cats coming in from Indiana, where I am right now. I know I'm talking saucy. You know where to find me, friend or foe. We want the smoke. Cats come in from Indiana and make a name for themselves, and I don't know who's going to be watching the game or where the game is going to be televised. I don't know if it's on ESPN or just MSG, but good gracious, don't let it be on ESPN and this man have a good game. We don't need that right now. Okay? So New York Knicks, take care of your business, because I'm fully stocked for Knicks Deli. All right? I got bacon, I got the bacon, egg, and cheese, I got the chopped cheese, I got the dollar slice, and the quarter water on ice. I want to open up the deli with all the flags. Dominican flag, PR flag, all of the flags. Don't let them take this food. Don't let them take the food. And lastly, the last thing I wanted to hop on and just talk about, and I got a minute left because I wanted to keep this at 15 minutes, is the article by Fred Katz. Ladies and gentlemen, it was an article done by Fred Katz. He did a great job, and I saw it on Reddit. And I thought it was something interesting. The New York Knicks fan base, we all, not only us, but it's media as well. It's real easy to look at the New York Knicks and point at the number of double-digit leads we lose games by, all right? Or the number of double-digit leads that we have that ultimately we dwindle away and end up losing the game. All right. And I think there was about 6 or something along those lines. That was the number that was out there. And everybody's just like, it's Tibbs or this team isn't disciplined enough. And it's always the same thing. And Fred Katz put out an article. And you can find it on Reddit, or you could just type in Fred Katz and see what articles that he produced. But he has an article out. And he talks about that the Knicks are one of seven teams that let go of at least 7 double-digit leads this season. It is something that's a regular occurrence in the NBA, and it's happening to multiple teams around the league. So New York Knicks fans, can you please stop searching? The challenges are there for you. Stop searching for new ways to disparage your own squad. Can we do that? Can we at least do that to All-Star break? Can we at least do that to an out of contention? Can we do that? Because I act like if you do it, the front office is going to listen to you and jump in and make adjustments and make arrangements. You already know they got support all along the way from the top to the bottom. You already got the support there. But it seems sometimes like New York Knicks fans are just looking for a reason to tamper that. And I understand it's the PTSD. I understand that. Looking for a reason not to be happy until you see us go on a 19-game win streak. And then that moment we lose the 20th game, you're going to talk about, we reverting back to our old ways. It's just like, unless it's a championship, and even if we win the championship, you'll probably hop on Twitter talking about ways in which we won't repeat. Y'all got to pull back on that a little bit. Understand that you got one of the youngest teams in the NBA. Understand that they're still learning how to close games. You can't be the ones on the front line, disparaging the team when there's so many people out there doing it for us. They sit back. It's already on record that they say we do it. Sometimes they don't even got to do the job. They just got to show up. Because if you give Knicks fans enough time, they'll turn on their own squad. Stop proving them right is what I'm saying. Stop proving them right. And lastly, I'll end with this. I posted it on Twitter. I posted it on my community page as well. Another instance where there's a player on the Miami Heat team that disagreed with whatever the move was that the coach made, and he had a tantrum. This tantrum, he threw one of the massage guns onto the floor. Now, he threw it up there from such a distance where he really couldn't determine where it would go. He could have hit somebody. Those things have magnets in them. They're made of metal and plastic. He could have hit somebody and hurt somebody. And, of course, he got ejected from the game. It wasn't the first time players got into it in the sideline. You remember Jimmy Butler a couple of years ago. Got into it with Spoelstra. And everybody will write it off as an excuse and say, that's what when you're battling for championships. These mother flippers ain't playing no finals. They ain't win no championship lately. Everybody will talk about the culture Pat Riley built, and Pat Riley does build a culture. The Heat have had a history of a good culture. Only thing I'm saying is, had that been done in New York, what would the narrative be? What would the story be? Aside from Tibbs losing the locker room, you need to fire Tibbs. I don't hear no calls for firing Spoelstra. I don't hear no calls about him being contentious and he hasn't created an environment where his team feels as if they need to sacrifice, the goal is for the team and not the individual. I don't hear nobody talking about that. Now, to the credit, I haven't looked and seen any articles all day, so that may be out there. But what I've seen, in which Spoelstra has a history of doing, he made a joke about it. He joked it off, the media laughed, and they're ready to move on. That doesn't fly in New York. So if you don't think there's a bias there, there is. All right? But we have a game tonight. I'm fully expecting for us to come out and battle. I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I attended the last game out here in Indiana, and we were obnoxious. Knicks fans were in the crowd, and we were obnoxious. All right? I've been in Indiana for 6 years. I attended a minimum of about 6 or 7 games, and we lost all of them. And it's terrible being there. They were reminding me that basketball was invented in Indiana. It was like we created the game, and I'm like, we took the game to astronomical heavenly levels. Whereas the MSG is now the Mecca. Okay? But they be asking for their respect because the peach basket was here, created here. So that win last game was so sweet when it was out here in Indiana. So sweet. I was the loudest one. They were annoyed. They were salty. So we need to win this game. All right. They're going to have payback on their mind, not only for that game, but for those comments that Wally said. For professional athletes, it doesn't take much to motivate them. So we got this win. You know, Knicks fans, let's stick with our team, man. We got a team. We have some talent. We have potential. You know, let's get behind them and let them pick up some steam, and let's see what we can do. We can't sit back and expect people to recognize us. We have to make them recognize us. And the only way to do that is for us to put a winning product on the floor and for New York fans to get behind them. What are they going to say when New York fans are supporting the team and the team is putting their best effort on the floor, win or lose? You tonight, holla at me on Twitter at SB Knicks. Holla at me on YouTube at SB Knicks. Hit me up. Just, put me on a mention or whatever have you. And keep in mind, same thing applies to our team that applies to life. If there is no struggle, there is no progress. And remember this, we are here and we got next. Sheer Brilliance Knicks. I'm out. Peace.
Victory, I just got another victory. Opposition said they sick of me. We turn their future to history. They try to hit me, they missing me. Ooh, they in the way.